Hello, everyone. Welcome to your campus network. It Takes a Village. I'm Leanne. I'm the events programmer for the AC Hub, and I will be leading you through today's event. We have a lot of great services to highlight today, so I'm going to very quickly share a couple of housekeeping items. So today's event is in webinar format. So if you're logged on to the Zoom webinar, unable to hear or see any of the attendees. So to communicate with us, please kindly use the chat function located along the bottom of the screen. And to ask questions to the services during their time slot, please kindly use the Q&A function, which is also located across the bottom of the screen. So to kick off today's event, we are starting with the Registrar's Office and Financial Aid and Student Awards. Our first representative is Lisa on behalf of the Registrar's Office. Welcome, Lisa. Please tell us about your service.
Hi, so my name is Lisa Wellman. I am from the Registrar's Office, so I'm the admissions coordinator there. And today I'm here to answer any questions you guys have about applications to the college, admissions, registration, exemptions, graduation, or fee payment deadlines.
Great, Lisa, thank you. We're going to jump right into questions. So the first question I have today is, what happens if a student didn't pay their spring tuition by the tuition balance due date?
So there is a one-time $150 late fee that will be applied to your account. Your account as well will become encumbered. So there's going to be certain restrictions that we're going to place on your student account, and you won't be able to move on to the next level until you have paid off your remaining spring balance.
Great, thank you. The next question is, how does a student pay the rest of their spring fees?
So right now, because we're working from home, we're not taking any on-campus payments. So payments can be made through your online banking account. So you just need to log into your own bank's online banking account, add Algonquin College as the payee, and use your Algonquin College student number as the account number. Once you make the payment, it can take up to 3 days for us to receive that.
Thank you. When is the deadline to withdraw from a course or a program?
So the refund date for the spring term has already passed, but you can still withdraw from a course or a program before the academic withdrawal date. So you're going to want to do this to avoid receiving Fs on your transcripts. You're going to receive Ws instead. So depending on your course, each student is going to have a different academic withdrawal date. So when you go into Access, take a look at your timetable, and each course will have the academic withdrawal date listed beside it. So you can tell when you have to withdraw from there. And then to proceed with the withdrawal, if you're withdrawing from a program, you're going to fill out our program withdrawal form on our website. If you're just withdrawing from a single course, you can just contact us either through email or submitting the form on our website as well. So you'll find those under our forms and resources page on the Registrar's Office website.
Thank you. What if a student thinks they've completed a course they're in currently, but at a school before?
So this would be an exemption. So if you think you've completed a course previously at a different institution, you're going to want to apply for an exemption to exempt the course and earn that credit that way, so you don't have to complete the remainder of the course. So to apply for an exemption, you're going to log into your Access account, and you're going to go to the Transfer Credit Exemption tab, and then you're going to be led to the form, and you're going to complete the form in there. So it's going to ask you, what course do you want to exempt? What course did you take previously that you think covers all the material that you have to learn? As well, it's going to ask you for a transcript and a course outline so that your academic area can evaluate to make sure that you're not going to be missing out on any information.
Great, thank you. And the last question I have for the Registrar's Office today is, how does a student get a proof of enrollment?
So proof of enrollment can also be obtained through your Access account. So when you log into Access, you're going to see a print letters option in Access, and you're going to go in there to print the letter that you require. So you'll be able to print it yourself right from Access.
Great, thank you so much, Lisa. It was a pleasure to have you join us. If students have any additional questions related to the Registrar's Office, their website link will be posted in the chat now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, I would like to welcome Janine from Financial Aid and Student Awards. Welcome, Janine. Please tell us about your service.
Hi, good morning. So my name is Janine Michael. I'm a financial aid officer at the college. So part of what financial aid officers do is we administer the OSAP program on behalf of the ministry. So we will look over all the documents that students submit. We will approve, deny, contact students. We do the reviews, any questions they have. We also look at out of province financial aid, and we do part-time student loans. And the other part of our team is the student awards part, and they are responsible for administering the bursaries, student awards, and scholarships that are offered through the college.
Great, thank you. We're going to jump right into questions. And the first one I have here is, as we are not on campus, how can students get in touch with someone from financial aid and student awards?
Yes, so we're all working from home like most people are right now. And so the best way to get a hold of us is through our email addresses. Each student is assigned a financial aid officer, and this is based off of the program that students are enrolled in currently. So I will post the link that students can go to. They'll put in the program they're registered in, and it will pull up the financial aid officer that they are assigned to. And so they can just email us any questions they have.
That's great, thank you. If a student is receiving government support, either through CERB or the CESB program, do they have to claim this income on their OSAP application?
Yes, so many students had already submitted their application before these programs came out. One of the questions on applications is, are you anticipating on earning money during your study period? So many students say no, because even if they're working part-time, the amount allowed is $5,600 per term. But if students have received any of these government initiatives, they may be going over that $5,600, and so they do have to claim it on their application. They have to claim both what they got from these programs as well as any income they earned if they were working part-time. So it's that total income that we need, that final number. What they can do is just, students, you can just write a letter, post it to your application as an update, and we will go in and update your application.
Great, thank you. What is the deadline to submit an application for the spring 2020 term? And what is the deadline to submit any outstanding required documents?
Right. So students can still apply for OSAP. So if they're needing some extra funding and they weren't sure, the deadline has not passed. It is 60 days before the end of the study period for a student. So it will vary depending on when students' study periods end. The majority of study periods will end on August 18th if they're doing an online program. And so the deadline to submit an application is June 19th. For documents for that application, they have to be in 40 days before the end of the study period. So that would be July 9th that they would have to have all the required documents submitted to us.
Great, thank you. And the last question I have today for financial aid and student awards is, if a student applied for a spring 2020 bursary, when should they expect to hear if they qualify?
So the deadline to apply has actually just been extended until tomorrow. So students can still submit an application up till June 10th. They will hear on June 30th by email whether or not they have or are going to be receiving the funding from the bursary. And if they are going to receive money, it will be sent to them in a check form.
Great, thank you. And just to confirm, if a student wants to apply before the deadline, they go to their Access account?
No, they go to their OSAP account and submit an application.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today, Janine. If students have any additional questions related to financial aid and student awards, the website link will be posted in the chat now. And next up today, we are excited to welcome Matthew from Information Technology Services. Welcome, Matthew. Please tell us about your service.
Hi there, my name is Matthew Wally. I'm a case resolution specialist with ITS Service Desk. My team and I handle all sorts of support requests for student technology and software. We're also part of ITS as a whole, which has a lot of control over all the technology at the college, including the Wi-Fi, your email account, Brightspace. So if you have a problem with one of your technologies, a member of ITS will probably be resolving it.
Great, thank you so much. We're going to jump right into questions. And the first one I have is, if a student's instructor has informed them that ITS can fix their course-specific software or hardware, where do they go to get this support?
ITS can take in support requests for all types of computer users, whether they be staff and students, whether you're using a home device to do your schoolwork or a device supplied by the college. And we can support multiple types of devices like laptops, tablets, and cell phones. Additionally, we try to support all of your course mandatory software when we can, but there's a lot of different configurations and a lot of different software types out there. So it can be very difficult to guarantee a solution. We always do our best to try and resolve your technical issue. And if we're not able to find a solution for you, we'll do our best to get you in contact with someone who can, whether it be the support department of the piece of software you're using, or escalate to another authority on the subject matter.
Thank you. What hours does ITS currently have to provide student support?
ITS is currently operating Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we'll resume full coverage in the fall semester.
Great, thank you. Because we're virtual this semester, does Algonquin College offer Zoom support?
Algonquin College does offer Zoom support. ITS is able to provide some troubleshooting techniques and do some setup support to get you connected to your classes. We also have set up a resource website that I'll provide the link to so it can be posted within the webinar. And lastly, the Zoom support site is also available for more broad questions about the Zoom software as a whole.
Great, thank you. And does the same apply to Brightspace support offered by the college?
Absolutely. ITS Service Desk is able to help with all sorts of student requests for Brightspace support. One thing to keep in mind is that some issues a student may encounter within Brightspace can only be corrected from the instructor side. And in those circumstances, ITS may not have an immediate solution for you, but we'll get in contact with your instructor and faculty support for Brightspace to get that issue resolved.
Great, thank you. Why are some students unable to see any course software offerings in their digital resource portal?
The digital resource portal software offerings are currently only available to full-time BYOD students. This may change in the future, but until then, if you are a part-time student or a distance education student, there are no software offerings available for you through the digital resource portal.
Perfect. And just to confirm, in case students don't know, what does BYOD stand for?
BYOD is a term that's applied to specific full-time programs at the college, standing for Bring Your Own Device, meaning that this program will require you to complete some of your coursework online through a computer.
Great, thank you. How long will a student retain access to their student email after they graduate?
Student email is available indefinitely after you graduate until our automated systems detect no account activity for 6 consecutive months. If you don't use your account for 6 consecutive months, then we mark it for deletion, and once it's deleted, the data is not recoverable.
Thank you. And the last question I have today is, can a student access their Brightspace course after it has ended?
Access to a Brightspace course after it's ended is controlled completely by the program coordinator or the instructor for that course. If you haven't copied down the course materials before graduating, you'll have to get in contact with that instructor or program coordinator to gain access to that course once more.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today, Matthew. If students have any additional questions related to information technology services, a website link will be posted in the chat now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Up next, we are excited to welcome Melissa from Academic Advising. Welcome, Melissa. Please tell us about your service.
Hey everyone, so my name is Melissa and I am the Academic Advising Coordinator at Algonquin College. So I work with the Student Retention and Academic Success team, and together we play a role in ensuring learners have the resources and support that they need to achieve their goals at Algonquin. So our team works closely with other departments on campus to improve student retention and graduation, develop strategies, and identify best practices that foster the success of our students.
Great, thank you. We're going to jump right into questions. And the first one is, what is a student success specialist and how does a student find theirs?
So the best analogy I've heard to describe a student success specialist is that they're like a compass, helping students navigate all of the resources and supports that are available to students at Algonquin. So if students aren't sure where to go for help, they would be their first stop. So the best way to find a student success specialist is to go to our main website, click on the banner at the top that says Student Success Specialist. And then from there, you'd select the campus you're studying at, which in most cases would be the Ottawa campus, followed by your program. Now, the great thing is that we've set it up so that you can book a meeting directly with them through our website.
Great, thank you. Why is it important for a student to connect with their academic advisor?
So connecting early in their college career with an advisor can establish good rapport, and this makes it easier for the advisor to match a student's interests with new opportunities. So discussing a student's strengths and weaknesses, as well as their likes and dislikes, it's helpful for establishing a personalized roadmap through a student's curriculum. So advisors can spot weaknesses in a plan if there are any, and as well as reinforce students' academic ambitions.
What can a student expect from an academic advisor?
So an academic advisor is going to listen carefully to a student's questions and concerns and make sure that they fully understand all of their options so that they can make intelligent choices when it comes to their academics. A key tenet of advising is that each student is responsible for their own decisions, but advisors exist because students can often use some help in making those decisions. So and as well as it's nice to have someone keep you focused on the bigger picture, which is what does a student's education mean to them, as well as the learning opportunities that sometimes get lost in all of those requirements that they have to take.
If a student decides that the program they are in is not right for them, where should they go for help?
So the first place to go if a student is struggling to determine if the program that they're in is really the right fit would be the academic advisor. So what they can do is give you some valuable insight into what to expect from the rest of their program, as well as really sit down with you and help a student determine if staying in the program is the right decision.
Great, thank you. If a student needs to make a change to their course schedule but are worried about falling behind, where do they go for help?
So most programs do have a set course schedule, so making changes can be quite challenging. But if this is something that a student needs to do, the first person to contact would be the program coordinator. So each program has a program coordinator that is responsible for the bulk of the administrative work, and course changes are included in this work.
Thank you. If a student is struggling to make the connection between what they are learning in each of their classes, where can they go for help with this?
So the academic advisor would be a really good first point of contact if they're struggling to make connections between what they're learning in all of their classes. They can help a student really take a step back and understand what the bigger picture is as it relates to their program.
Great, thank you. If a student needs to drop a class this semester but wants to know how it's going to impact them moving forward, where can they go for help with this?
So similar to changing a course, if a student needs to drop a course, the person they should be speaking with is their program coordinator. So they can go over the impacts that dropping a course will have on progression in their program and can help set up a plan to get back on track. This includes when the student would be able to take that course again if it's required in their program.
Great, thank you. Since we can't physically be on campus right now, how can a student get in touch with their academic advisor or program coordinator?
So each academic advisor and program coordinator has set up sort of their own best way to get in touch with them, but the first place to start would be to find their contact information through our website. So you can send them an email with your question, and then if a video or even a telephone meeting is needed, they'll connect with you to set up a time that works for both of you.
Great, thank you. And the last question I have today related to academic advising is, if a student is struggling with motivation to study in some of their classes, who can help them get back on track and work with them to set some academic goals?
So it can be very challenging to stay motivated, and there are definitely plenty of resources available to students across campus, including the library, student support services, etc. In our area specifically, the academic advisor can work with you to get your studies back on track, as well as help a student develop a plan to set academic goals to ensure they're successful. Now, the best course of action is to get a plan and goals established before students start to struggle. So reaching out to their academic advisors sooner rather than later is always recommended.
Thank you, Melissa. What a great resource. It was a pleasure to have you join us today. If
Thank
students
you.
have any additional questions related to academic advising, the website link will be posted in the chat now. And next up today, we would like to welcome Rachel from Campus Services and Course Material Services. Welcome, Rachel. Please tell us about your services.
Thank you so much. I am the Assistant Marketing Manager for Campus Services. So as Leanne mentioned, we look after the campus store, we look after course materials, also food services, printing on campus, parking, lockers, card services, so your AC card and your UPass, as well as residents.
Great, thank you. Jumping right into the questions. If a student hasn't ordered their books yet, how do they do so?
So if you haven't ordered your books yet, the first thing you want to do is go to thecampusstore.ca. There'll be a link right on the homepage to log into your book list. You can log in there with your network username and password to view your required and recommended textbooks, and you can purchase right from there. So you just add them to your cart. Many textbooks have a digital and a print option, so you can choose whatever way is best for you. All orders from the campus store ship for free to Canada and the US right now. And there's also contactless curbside pickup available as well.
Great, thank you. A student has received a UPass for the spring term, but doesn't use it. What are their next steps?
Yes, so the UPass program is technically a mandatory program for all full-time Algonquin College students at the Ottawa campus. That being said, there are some categories where a student can opt out for a full UPass fee assessment. The spring term being one of them, since it is primarily, since it is all online at the moment. So if you go to algonquincollege.com/UPass, there's an opt-out section. Click on the opt-out button. There's all the information you need and a form that you can fill out. It will be processed by the registrar's office and you will receive that fee assessment back.
Great, thank you. A student is new to the spring semester, but hasn't updated their photo for their AC card or UPass. What do they do?
So if you are a new student, if you go to the Card Services website, I know I'm saying a lot of websites here. However, our main Campus Services website that they'll put at the end has a link to all of them. So don't worry about keeping track throughout. If you go to the Card Services website at algonquincollege.com/ACcards, you can watch a step-by-step video for how to upload your photo through our online photo system. So after you watch that video, you just upload your photo. You can even take a selfie as long as it's on a white background. Your cards will be printed as long as your photo meets the parameters that the video talks about. And then they'll be mailed to you to your address that is on file with the college. You can view and change this address in Access. So if that address maybe isn't the one that you're living at right now, maybe it's your parents', you can go in and change that before you upload your photo to make sure that they mail it to the right place.
Perfect. So my next question is very similar. It's if a student never received their UPass or AC card after submitting it online, what are their next steps?
So that address piece might be part of the problem. We've encountered a few of those where it's just gone to the wrong address. There could also be a circumstance where you don't qualify for a UPass. However, you should have still received your AC card in that instance. So the best thing to do is email photoid@algonquincollege.com. They will check on the status of your card. If for some reason you need to fix your photo, they'll let you know and they'll get your cards to you as soon as they can.
Great, thank you. If a student has contents left in a locker that they rented last term, how do they get these contents back?
So Locker Services has developed a curbside locker pickup option. So this allows students to get your locker contents safe in a physically distanced manner. Now, students with locker rentals from the previous term are going to receive an email from Locker Services in the coming weeks with details about how to request this service. We're not opening up to everybody at once just to make sure that they can keep up with the demand and make sure that you can get your contents fairly quickly after you request them. So they're kind of being sent one building at a time. So if you haven't received an email yet, you will be receiving one soon. They'll give you a form to fill out. Once you fill out the form, you hit submit and you pick an appointment time. We have a booking software, so So you can pick a time that works best for you to come and pick it up. You go outside of C building, call the number on the sign, just like you would for a grocery pickup, and they will come out and bring their content.
Great, thank you. Who does a student contact if they're having problems with their digital course materials or a textbook order through the campus store?
So if there's any problems with an order that you've placed through the campus store online, the best place to go is to email campusstore@algonquincollege.com. If you have specific questions to your course materials, so maybe you're having some trouble with your digital resources, anything like that, you can email cms@algonquincollege.com. The course materials team will help you, walk you through all that, make sure all of your stuff is downloaded.
Thank you. And the last question I have today for campus services and course material services is, can students use the printers on campus at this time?
Unfortunately, printers across campus are not available to use at this time. I know we're all kind of trying to discourage going to campus right now. That won't always be the case. So printers will be available as soon as normal operations have resumed.
Great. Thank you for joining us today, Rachel. If students have any additional questions related to campus services or course material services, the website link will be posted in the chat now.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Up next, we are excited to welcome Michelle from the International Education Center. Welcome, Michelle. Please tell us about your service.
Sure. I'm an international student advisor, one of 4 in total. And we work in the International Education Center, which is a center that supports international students who come to Canada for the purpose of studying.
Great, thank you. Jumping into the questions, how does the International Education Center help students?
We help students. We want to help them reach their goals. A lot of these students are coming here to be academically successful and to hopefully, if they are wanting to, stay in Canada permanently afterwards. So we want to help them keep on track, and we have a lot of support services to help them get there.
Great, and what services does the International Education Center provide?
We provide a lot of one-on-one help for international students, primarily immigration support, because they are regulated by Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada. It's important that they know the rules that they are bound to. So we do provide that support. We offer information sessions, webinars, we offer events and activities. We also know how important it is for these students to connect to their new home here at Algonquin and in Ottawa in Canada. So we do provide a lot of support in that aspect as well, including a peer mentoring program. Just a lot of support to help these students. We also work with a lot of partner support areas at the college as well.
That's great. How can students contact you?
The best way right now is through our email, iecsupport@algonquincollege.com.
Thank you. How can new international students get involved and meet new students?
This is always tricky because a lot of our students are shy. So we do encourage international students to sign up for our peer mentoring program. We also encourage Canadian students to get involved as well. If they are interested in mentoring international students, they are welcome to sign up to become a mentor as well. It's a great way to try and connect our domestic students with international. But the peer mentor program is probably the best way to help the students connect with other students and to get engaged.
Great, thank you. What kind of health insurance is offered to international students?
So international students receive insurance through GuardMe, and the insurance coverage is very similar to what Canadians have. Bonus is that a lot of prescription medication is covered through GuardMe health insurance, but they don't have a dental plan. So we often refer students to the Students Association for dental coverage.
Great, thank you. Is there financial help for international students?
Not very much, unfortunately. So not the same type of financial help as there is for Canadian or domestic students. So a lot of international students do arrive and are expected to be financially independent, so being able to pay for themselves. So this is one of the reasons why we don't have a lot of financial assistance. However, if students find themselves in a situation where their financial situation has changed, we would like them to reach out to us to iecsupport@algonquincollege.com.
Thank you. Can international students work more hours due to COVID-19?
Yay, yes. So right now, Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada have permitted international students who work in essential services to work more than the regulated 20 hours per week that students are normally bound to. So the only qualification is that the student is an essential service worker. And if they are permitted to work more than 20 hours a week until August 31st, 2020.
That's great, thank you. And the last question I have today for the International Education Center is, can international students study online, and will there be any impacts to the future postgraduate work permit?
Yes, this is a great question, because normally studying online could impact a future postgrad work permit, but Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada have made quite a few exceptions because of COVID right now, allowing international students to study online and not having an impact on postgrad work permit. The only criteria is that online studies should not form more than 50% of the entire studies. And of course, if students have questions or concerns, they can reach out to us.
Great, thank you so much for joining us today, Michelle. If students have any additional questions related to the International Education Center, the website link will be posted in the chat now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we would like to welcome 3 Student Support Services representatives. First, I'd like to welcome Martha on behalf of Aspire AC, the Center for Accessible Learning, and the Mamidosewin Center. Welcome, Martha. Please tell us about the 3 services you are representing today.
Thanks, Leanne. Hi, everybody. So my name's Martha. I'm a manager at Student Support Services, which has a full roster of services to meet most needs of students on campus. So today I'm going to speak to you about Aspire AC, the Center for Accessible Learning, and the Mamidosewin Center. So starting with Aspire AC. Aspire AC is a specialized program for any student who needs some support to get to college, be ready when they get to college, and stay and graduate and find meaningful employment. So the audience being current students today, what Aspire AC can offer you is we can sponsor any peer tutoring you might need. We have specialized job coaches that run a program. It's generally 15 weeks, 1-to-1, 1 hour a week, and it's employment literacy. And that job coach has 100% success because she stays with you until you have employment in your field. And we have a mentor and other services. What we ask our students to tell us is what is getting in your way, and if we can help to eliminate that barrier for you, we will do whatever we can at Aspire. The Center for Accessible Learning is a center on campus for any student who needs accommodations for their academics. And they have technology, they have quiet space to take your exams, they have exam proctors to help manage your exam in a quiet area, and learning strategists. So basically any accommodations that you might need for your academics is what the Center for Accessible Learning can help you with. And the Mamidosewin Center on campus is a physical center where Indigenous students can go, and they will see elements of their culture. So it's a place that they can be comfortable and experience their culture while on campus. They also have a quiet space with computers that you can use, printing. There's always events on campus to help you to experience your culture while you're at Algonquin College.
Great, Martha. Thank you for those introductions. We're going to start off with some questions about Aspire AC. So the first question I have is, who is the best fit for the Aspire AC program?
So if you're a student who identifies with any of the 14 diversity groups in the Human Rights Code, such as a first-generation student, an LGBTQ student, a student with a disability, a new Canadian, any of those 14 diversity groups, or if you identify with one or more, which is our usual student, you likely can find some support at Aspire that will help you.
Great. If a client already has a college diploma or a university degree, can these individuals participate in the Aspire AC program?
Absolutely. So we're here to support any student who needs support to get to college, be ready when they get to college, and to stay, graduate, and find meaningful employment.
Thank you. And the last question I have today related to Aspire AC is, can individuals access Aspire services out of regular hours? And how are these services being delivered during the COVID restrictions?
So like everyone else, everyone at Aspire, all of the specialized support such as tutoring and mentoring and job coaching and transition support, all of that is happening virtually. So if you were to email us at aspireac@algonquincollege.com, or go to our website and register for Aspire, you can do that any time of day and you will receive a response to your inquiry within 24 hours.
Great, thank you so much. We're going to move along to the Center for Accessible Learning. And the first question I have is, if a student is attending Algonquin this term, how do they arrange academic accommodations with the Center for Accessible Learning?
So the first step to that is to be sooner rather than later. That's what we always say about the Center for Accessible Learning. So your first step is to register with what we call the Welcome Center. And they also are virtual right now. So their extension at the college is 1200. You can also email them at welcomecenter@algonquincollege.com. Your first step is to ask them for an appointment with a learning strategist, and things will go from there. So you start with your registration there.
Great, thank you. What documentation is needed to register with the Center for Accessible Learning? And is a student able to register if they don't have disability documentation?
So I'll answer the second half of that question first. Yes, register sooner than later. And what documentation you need will depend on your accommodations that you need. So generally, you know, the traditional documentation is an IEP or a psychological assessment that's been done within the last 5 years. However, the Center for Accessible Learning takes into account sort of functioning. What do you need to do well academically? And if that doesn't require documentation and accommodations can be made without it through a learning strategist, they'll take that into consideration.
Great, thank you. And the last question I have today related to the Center for Accessible Learning is, how do the virtual meetings with the Center for Accessible Learning staff work?
Okay, so the appointments are booked through the Welcome Center, and the strategist or the counselor will get in touch with you and schedule them and will email you. They have special security measures for any of our services that would have to be reliant on the PHIPAA. So to keep your information confidential, they will have specialized security features in place, so they will contact you.
Thank you so much. And the last service you and I are going to cover today is the Mamidosewin Center. So the first question I have is, what does Mamidosewin mean?
So Mamidosewin is an Indigenous word, and it means center or gathering. So it's a place where you can be comfortable and experience your culture.
Thank you. And what is the goal of the Mamidosewin Center?
The goal is, Algonquin College is named for the Algonquins and is on the unceded territory of the Algonquins. And so we have an obligation to be mindful of that and recognize that at Algonquin College. And it's a place where anybody can attend and experience the Indigenous culture of the Algonquins or any of the Indigenous cultures, and a special place for our Indigenous learners to go and see their culture and experience their culture while they're away from home.
And my last question related to the Mamidosewin Center, is it exclusive to Indigenous students?
Absolutely not. For all of their events and all of their experiences that they have at the center, they invite anybody to come and be part of their community and experience their culture.
Great. Thank you so much, Martha. It was a pleasure to have you join us. Next up, I would like to welcome Amber from the Library, Student Learning Center, and Peer Tutoring. Welcome, Amber. Please tell us about the 3 services you are representing today.
Yeah, absolutely. So hi everyone, my name is Amber Schuler-Toll. I'm the coordinator of the Student Learning Center, and I'm also going to represent the library services as well today. The Student Learning Center has a bunch of different services to support students, some of them including things like our peer tutor program, our coaching services, our free workshops available to students, as well as all of our online resources that we've curated for students. And the library, although people tend to traditionally think of the library as a physical space, the library has moved online and students can access all of the resources, books, e-journals, any kind of academic information that they need for their program, all online as well.
Great, thank you. The first question I have today is, how does a student sign up to get a tutor?
Great question. So if students are looking to receive a peer tutor, and just to be clear, a peer tutor is a student who's already completed your program and completed a course in your program that you may be struggling with and has done very, very well in that course. So if you're looking for that kind of one-on-one support from a peer tutor, you can come to our Student Learning Center website, and there's steps that say how to sign up for a peer tutor, which essentially is registering on our system and creating a bit of a profile. And then another thing that students will need to do is they'll need to have money on their AC account. Peer tutoring does cost money. It costs $8 an hour. And before you can actually book a peer tutor appointment, you'll need to have money on your Algonquin College card account. And you can do that through card services, and we can help you support with, how to find that information.
Great, thank you. So my second question is in line with that one. If a student can't afford to pay for tutoring, is there financial help or are there workshops? And does a student sign up for these?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're looking for some financial support specifically for peer tutoring, there are different departments that offer sponsorships. So depending on the department that you may be already in touch with. So for example, the International Education Center, if you're an international student, they have sponsoring. As Martha mentioned before, if you're part of the AC Aspire program, they can sponsor tutoring. If you're registered with the Center for Accessible Learning, they can provide sponsorship, as well as the financial aid department also offers sponsorship for students for peer tutoring. If any of those don't work for you, then we do have a number of free services available. So our coaching, which is subject sort of help from teachers in things like math, writing, and ESL, that's a free service available to students, as well as then all of our workshops, which are available and free as well. So to sign up for those workshops, on our Student Learning Center website, there's our big monthly schedule where we have all the workshops listed, and to register is as easy as clicking on the one that you want to attend and entering your name and email. It's very, very simple.
Great, that's awesome. Thank you so much. The next question I have is, how does a student access ebooks and journals from home?
Right. So if you're looking on the library and you're looking to access those ebooks and e-journals, to log into the system is really simple. The login is going to be your student number. So everybody should be able to find their student number. If not, it's on Access. The login is your student number, and the PIN that you're going to need to log in to access all of these resources is just the last 4 digits of your student number. And that's it. And then from there, you can access the full online catalog of all of the ebooks and journals.
That's great. Thank you so much. And the last question I have today is, are you able to virtually help students find what they're looking for?
Absolutely. So both the library and the Student Learning Center, although we're fully online, we do have full chat support from Monday to Friday. So for the library, it runs from 8 to 5 Monday to Friday. The Student Learning Center is from 10 to 3 every day. And if students can get one-on-one instant chat and answers, if they're looking for any of these resources or programs, you can also always email us, and both of our websites have full FAQs that have a lot of the commonly asked questions that we get anyway on the chat.
Great. Thank you so much, Amber. It was a pleasure to have you join us from Student Support Services today. And last but not least, within the Student Support Services family, I'd like to welcome Carol Ann from the Employment Support Center. Welcome, Carol Ann. Please tell us about your service.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Leanne, and welcome to everybody. In the Employment Support Center, we're here to help you if it's your first day on campus or right through your time at Algonquin and as a graduate as well. We are here to help you with anything to get you career ready and how to find a job. So we are offering virtual appointments at this time. You can call or email our department and we will certainly book an appointment to talk about resume writing, cover letters, interview skills, the top 10 questions, how do I calm my nerves, LinkedIn profiles, very important to have in today's labor market. We have an online job portal called Hire AC where we post a lot of positions. You just log in through Access, so check that out. We have a lot of online resources as well. The career platform, interview stream is where you can go and record yourself during a mock interview and then just see if you need any improvements. We also welcome employers on campus to come and recruit and other workshops for students on a variety of job search topics.
Great, thank you. So jumping right into questions, the first question I have today is, where can a student access support to find employment?
Well, they can come and see us at any time as mentioned. The first step I would say is to go to Hire AC through Access. That's our online job portal where we post full-time, part-time, and summer opportunities. You'll see a full job description with duties, qualifications, the deadline to apply, which is very important, and then how to submit your resume. One big suggestion is if you do see a position you're interested in, print it off or save it to your desktop, because as soon as that job expires, it disappears. So when you want to prepare for the interview, make sure you have that job posting for sure. And also make an appointment to come in and see us. If you need help creating a resume for our international students to make it more Canadianized, if you want it proofread, but also a really good key thing to do is to customize your resume to fit the job you're applying to. And that's what we're happy to help you with at any point in time.
That's great, Caroline, thank you. And are these services where they can get this support available virtually currently?
Yeah, for sure. We are meeting either a half an hour or 1 hour with our students to talk about, again, whatever help they need, whether it's resume or interviewing or just job searching in general. They can make an appointment through our Welcome Center, again, via our phone or email, and we're happy to sit with them and help with whatever they need.
Great, thank you. What kind of services are offered through the Employment Support Center? Is there any more additional to the ones you've covered?
Yeah, what I would suggest, some people prefer to look at our online resources first. They're available 24/7. And I would suggest going to check out our LinkedIn page as well, because we have a lot of information there and tips and tricks. As mentioned, we have a career platform, which is a lot of online material, again, on resume writing, cover letters, LinkedIn, labor market in general, which is a tricky time right now. And also interview stream. A lot of people love interviewing, I know that. But to really prepare for an interview stream is great because you can record yourself and not only hear your answers, but see your body language as well. So you can do that anytime that you wish, and then come in and make an appointment with us, and we can review that together as well.
Those are such great resources offered. Thank you so much. Where can a student find a job off campus?
Again, the jobs we have posted on Hire AC, the majority are external. Again, full-time, part-time, and summer jobs are available for you to view and apply to. Another great resource is we also offer a lot of events. We are offering them virtually now. So we invite employers to come and share their recruitment needs, targeting either specific programs or generic, if it's a summer job, for example. We are, in the near future, hosting a lot of federal government agencies. We have CSIS, DND, we have Corrections Canada coming. We also have Rogers coming to talk about their recruitment needs. So keep your eye on Blackboard and email for further details. We also have a lot of workshops for students. The next ones we have June 9th and 10th are how to build a digital portfolio. And then again, for our international students, we have a workshop being hosted on June the 17th.
That's great. Thank you so much. And the last question I have related to the Employment Support Center is, how do students find out about job prospects for their industry?
Yeah, again, they can certainly make an appointment to come and see us. We have great employment officers who are very knowledgeable about labor market, Ottawa specific, but if they're also looking to, maybe return home to Calgary or Pembroke, whatever the case may be, we can help with that. And also LinkedIn is a fantastic tool to learn about industries, who's out there, who's hiring, and also Hire AC. Go and check out the job postings, the industry, but also the keywords and the key skills that those employers are looking for.
Great. Thank you so much, Carol Ann, for joining us today. If
Thank
students
you.
have any additional questions related to the student support services, the website link will be posted in the chat now. And up next, we would like to welcome 2 representatives to discuss health and wellness support available virtually on campus. First up today, we have Sarah on behalf of Counseling Services, Project Lighthouse, and the Umbrella Project. Welcome, Sarah. Please tell us about the 3 services you're representing today.
Awesome. So my name is Sarah. I'm the Sexual Violence Prevention and Harm Reduction Coordinator at Algonquin, which means I get to manage Project Lighthouse and the Umbrella Project. Project Lighthouse is all about consent, dating, and healthy relationships on campus. So we want our students to know what a healthy relationship looks like, where they can access support, and how to figure out consent and dating, because we know it can be tricky. The Umbrella Project is all about safer substance use, so alcohol and other drugs, and how students can use them in the safest way possible. We want our students to feel supported and make sure that everyone knows that they're able to talk to someone if they have any concerns. And I'm also representing counseling services today. So counseling is one of our services on campus that students can access to talk to someone about a variety of issues or concerns. We have group counseling, we have individual counseling, and so basically all 3 services are able to support our students in any way they need.
Great, Sarah, thank you. So I'm going to start off with counseling services today. And the first question I have is, what topics can a student talk to a counselor about?
Yeah, so I think when a lot of people think about counseling, they see kind of what they have on TV where you're like lying on a couch, and that's not necessarily what counseling always will be. So a counselor can help students with academic concerns, such as things like study skills or how to study, career concerns, and so kind of looking at is your program right for your career choices after graduation, or after you graduate, is this going to put you in the right job frame, and if not, what could you look to do? Things like mental health, and also addictions. So we kind of can see students for a variety of reasons. And so it's not just necessarily what you might think it would be, and they can offer support in lots of different ways.
Great, thank you. So furthermore to that question, the next question is, are there any additional services offered by counseling services?
So currently, we are having a lot of things that are happening virtually. So we've got some really fantastic groups. There's a lot of different ones happening that students can sign up for, and they're all happening virtually right now. There are study skills workshops, so teaching students about how to study and what skills they need to be able to do so. And things like in-class presentations are also things that counseling will do.
Great, thank you so much. And the last question I have today related to counseling services is, how does a student register to speak with a counselor?
That's a fantastic question. Yeah, so basically you can do it in 2 ways. So you can contact them by phone. So the number I'm hoping you folks will post, or just the website, it's on there, but it's 613-727-7423, and the extension is 7200. The Welcome Center will answer any phone calls that students have and be able to book folks an appointment. You can also email welcomecenter@algonquincollege.com. You'll be given an appointment with a counselor, and currently right now it's either the same day or the next day, and with COVID happening, all of the appointments are done over the phone or by video chat.
Great, thank you so much. We're going to move on to questions related to Project Lighthouse. And the first question is Project Lighthouse currently offering virtual events?
Awesome. Yes, we are offering virtual events. So we have lots of fun events coming up. Next Tuesday, so not today, but the 16th, we will be hosting Hot Drinks and Hot Topics. That one is a Sex After Dark edition. So basically, students can come and we'll answer questions about sexuality, dating, healthy relationships, anything to do with sex. People asked questions. We've been running for 3 weeks. So people have questions about kink and dating and what that looks like, and anything people want to know know, we will be there to answer their questions. Everyone who comes gets a $10 Starbucks card, and there are prizes that they can win. Starting next month, we are doing something called Glitter and Gab. So Glitter and Gab, folks sign up for a 4-week arts and craft course. They have to live in Canada because I have to be able to actually mail them the crafting supplies. So, so if they live here, then they're able to be in our Glitter and Gab, and each week we'll talk about different things while doing crafting events. We have a bunch of other things happening. Every Thursday, we do something called Ask an Expert series. They're all on different events and topics. So if you tune in on Facebook Live, you'll be able to hear different things about different topics. And we would love if anyone wanted to suggest some to us. They can reach out through the email projectlighthouse@algonquincollege.com, and we would be happy to work with them on that. So yeah.
That's great, Sarah. Thank you. The second question I have is, where does a student go if they have questions about consent or sexual violence?
Fantastic. So as we talked about the events before, we can answer your questions in there, but the Project Lighthouse website is a fantastic resource. It has tons of great resources on how to ask for consent. We've got things like a consent map. We have our consent sandwich, which is all about talking with your partner about what you're into sexually, and so that folks aren't assuming people are into one thing and they're really into something else. So our website really has a lot of great and different resources that anyone can use to be able to understand about consent or dating or healthy resources.
Thank you. And the last question I have today related to Project Lighthouse is, if a student wanted to talk to someone about sexual violence, who would that be and how do they get in touch?
Perfect. So if people have questions, they can reach out to us. But if someone wanted to go to a counseling session, we have hired a counselor from the Ottawa Rape Crisis Center to do consultations with our students. If folks want to access that, they can do it through the Welcome Center. So same way that they're accessing counseling, Welcome Center at algonquincollege.com. And they'll be able to book an appointment to talk to someone who specializes in sexual violence counseling.
Thank you so much. And we're going to move on to the last service we're covering together today, which is the Umbrella Project. And the first question I have is, who can a student talk to about substance use?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So we, Project Lighthouse the Umbrella Project has, so basically we have a great website that has some tutorials on but if you actually want to talk to someone in person, we are running the Ask an Expert series. We have done a couple different ones on substance use. So there's a great way to ask questions. But also if people had were using alcohol and other drugs and they weren't sure if it was maybe problematic, or they think it's causing them to miss school or miss other events and it's affecting their lives, we do have trained counselors on campus who are able to support students, and those counselors can do something called a harm reduction consultation. So it can be about the student's substance use or a family or friend that they want to support. They can book in with a counselor and get a resource on or connected with community about substance use.
Great, thank you. And the last question I have today is, how can a student keep themselves and their friends safe?
Yeah, so that's fantastic. I just saw you folks posted the lowering your risk guidelines there. So basically, if you look at those, there's some really great and interesting tips on how students can use in the safest way possible. So we understand that not everyone is using alcohol and other drugs, and that's okay. But if students are, we want to be able to support them in the best way that we can. So we've got the website, and it talks all about different risks associated with different drugs. And there's a couple tips on there too, things like picking one substance. So if you're going to be using alcohol, maybe don't do cocaine that night or something like that. So just really picking one substance and sticking to it is the safest way for students to do it. But there's tons of great tips on there about how to actually use in the safest way possible. And so we just want our students to feel supported and know that we're here if they have any questions, and that there's resources available for them.
Thank you so much, Sarah. It was a pleasure to have you join us. If students have any additional questions related to counseling services, Project Lighthouse, or the Umbrella Project, the website links will be posted in the chat now.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now I'd like to welcome Rose from Health Services. Welcome, Rose. Please tell us about your service.
Hi, Leanne. My name is Rose. I work at Algonquin College Health Services as Health Promotion Educator. And our clinic at Algonquin College has a great team of medical doctors, nurses, and a mental health nurse. And we do support patients through confidential and individualized health and wellness care. We do also have a health promotion team, which I am part of, and we aim to engage students in improving health and wellness through Algonquin College community.
Great, thank you. We're going to jump right into the questions. And the first one I have is, health services open and what are the business hours?
Yeah, so we're open and from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., Monday to Friday, by appointment only. Patients have to call in before coming in because all appointments have to be pre-booked.
And how does a student make an appointment for health services and what do they need to bring?
Great question. So all visits to health services, as I said, must be pre-booked by telephone, and I'll post it into the webinar chat. So we're no longer accepting walk-ins at this time. And we're booking by telephone or video appointment whenever possible. In most cases, needs can be met through a phone or a video appointment. But if a nurse or a doctor see that it's necessary deemed to see a patient in person, then there will be an in-person appointment. And as I said, it has to be pre-booked. So what the student has to bring with, so all the verification, like the health card, the student ID, are done through phone.
Great, thank you. And what medical services does health services offer?
Great. So I usually get this question, are you a real clinic, real functioning clinic? Yes, we are. So we provide medical care prescriptions, and we do have blood work. So for blood work, we only do the blood work that's been ordered through our doctors, and we do not accept requisitions from outside doctors. We also have PAP testing and STI testing. Currently, we're doing only urgent STI testing because of COVID-19. And we do have immunizations. So for students who prepare for clinical placements, we do have the immunizations, and with the current situation, we have limited number of appointments available. We do also have birth control information and mental health support. So we do have a mental health nurse and a telemedicine clinic in partnership with the Royal. And patients need to have a referral from a physician in our clinic to be able to have an appointment in the telemedicine clinic. We do also have smoking cessation support. So anyone can talk to a doctor for more information and prescriptions.
Great, thank you. Is health services testing for COVID-19 at this time?
We do not, so because COVID-19 testing is not available at our clinic, but we recommend that students will check the website at Ottawa Public Health for more information about COVID-19 testing.
Great, thank you. What are the safety measures that health services is taking in light of the current events?
So the medical team and all the health services team has done a great job when it comes to this point. So our priority is safety for patients and staff. So all visits are pre-booked by telephone, and we no longer accepting walk-ins. In addition, we advise all visitors to wait outside of health services, as only people with booked appointments are allowed to enter the clinic. So the doors of the clinic are currently locked, and patients who are booked to see a doctor or a nurse have to call by phone with booked when they arrive. So we also advise people not to arrive at health services unannounced. And we recommend all patients to wear a mask. We also take into consideration the physical distance measures, and we do COVID-19 screening for patients before they come in through phone.
Great, thank you. Can students still get free condoms and feminine hygiene products at this time through health services?
So condoms can be accessed through Sixet Smart link, which is through Ottawa Public Health. And this is a service for Ottawa residents, and condoms can be delivered to their doors.
Thank you. What online supports, resources, and events do you have at this time through health services?
So under the health promotion, we do have virtual yoga on a bi-weekly basis, and we do also have Nutrition Around the World initiative, which is mixing culture, food, and nutrition and education tips. So students can visit the Student Support Services events page or follow us on the social media channels. They can also visit the health services website. If they have missed some of the previous chats, we are posting everything on the HS website.
Thank you so much, Rose. And the last question I have for health services today is, what is the role of the health promo team, and how does the student stay connected to their events?
So health promotion is a service that aims to engage students in improving health and wellness. And we do really focus on 6 pillars of health to promote, including general health, such as cold and the flu, sleep hygiene, nutrition and fitness, mental health, sexual health, and substance use information. So we have small to large scale initiatives and events. And as I mentioned, currently we're doing some initiatives online, such as the yoga and nutrition.
Great. Thank you, Rose, for joining us today. If students have any additional questions related to health services, the website link will be posted in the chat now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. And lastly, today, we are excited to welcome 3 representatives to discuss student experience available virtually from campus. So first up today is Matthew from Applied Research, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship. Welcome, Matthew. Please tell us about your service.
Hi, Leanne. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here, and hello to everyone live on Facebook. Applied Research, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship is the office that I work for. I am the marketing and communications person there. But what we do is that we give students the opportunity to use their education, the skills they have, and what the learning that they're doing in their classrooms before they graduate. So that's a little bit different than a lot of other ways that you engage things at the college. And these projects are all in the form of research projects, meaning they could be in class or they could be standalone. Projects have an industry partner, which means you're doing research and you're engaging new ideas in your field with industry representatives, people who are already doing that out in the world. And sometimes even you can be hired on to continue working after you graduate, which is awesome. Innovation and entrepreneurship, specifically apart from the research, is providing opportunities to aspiring entrepreneurs at the college, and it helps their ideas get off the ground. So, that's what we do for that.
Great, thank you so much. So the first question I have today is, what type of projects are you currently working on in applied research, innovation, and entrepreneurship?
Well, research projects are a secret, so I can't talk about all of them, but they are under non-disclosure agreements, and you could learn more about that if you wanted to be a researcher. But numerous projects that are ongoing, so that there is information released about. A really exciting one that I love personally is Masterpiece VR. It's visual art in virtual reality, and if you actually want to try that, there's a link that can be shared in the link. If you have a VR headset, it works on anything. You can download it on Steam. We also have an Adobe portfolio projects, which helps any type of student make a portfolio. So, Resume 2.0 is having a portfolio, engaging and showing your work. So that's really fun. An underwater metal detector. And we're also working in 5G research with cheetah networks, pardon me.
So fun. What type of students are typically employed with applied research, innovation, and entrepreneurship?
So really any student, I've seen students from almost any program participate in a different way, shape, or form. It really depends on what's going on in the centers at the moment. We have tons of different centers from design to applied engineering. So, you can find your fit if you're keeping an eye out and trying to look out for things. And then other students who are just, maybe there isn't a project that pertains to them right now, there are workshops that are open to everyone. So we do host those, and I can talk about those later.
Okay, sounds good. Can students volunteer with applied research, innovation, and entrepreneurship?
For sure, yeah. So we're always looking for people to engage in our office, to come and get inspired about new ideas, about new things. We have tons of ideas. A specific example that I have right now that I'm looking to do is on Thursday. I am running a research / a think tank session to support projectinkind.org. We want students to give feedback, let us know what they think about the current website, how they could get involved more with it if they'd want to get involved. And it's awesome because it's in Algonquin first, and it's also a first for just getting an institution involved in general. So it'd be a really interesting thing to come, and if you'd like to talk to me about it and see if you can participate, then you can give me an email, and I think we can share my email address down there.
So great. So just to confirm that there are projects with job and volunteer openings for students right now virtually?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go to our website, we currently have some positions available in the Social Innovation Lab, and there are volunteer positions available all the time. So you can visit a link that will go down there in our news section. Keep apprised of it, and there's always new stuff going up there.
Great, thank you. So you did mention workshops a few times. What types of workshops are there, and how much do they cost?
So yeah, there are, right now we're running 2 specific workshops, which are the Python workshop. So you can learn about artificial intelligence. And I know it might sound daunting, but these workshops are really for the beginner. It's to, basically make a chatbot for Twitter, which is really interesting and fun. We're hosting one of those on Thursday. It's our second in the series. We also host Shopify workshops as well. So if you want to open a Shopify store, we're regularly hosting how to do that through our entrepreneurship area.
That's great. I know we're all connecting digitally at the moment. Is there a way that students can tour some of the facilities online?
Absolutely. Interestingly enough, we actually have some virtual tours. There's no one in the room, but you can see the facilities, you can see what they look like. You can sort of just poke around for yourself and sort of understand what type of technologies we have in our different spaces across campus.
Great, thank you. It sounds like there are many ways to get involved. Are there any other ways that we haven't heard about yet?
Yeah, one of our major ones is Reaction. That's basically an applied research showcase where all the research that happens within a semester is shared online, or is typically shared in person, but this time we're trying to do one online. So we're going to be putting together an event, and we always need volunteers to support the ongoing, all of the things that require in running an event. So specifically project management students and event management students, that's a different way that they can get involved in applied research.
Thank you so much. I have one last question today related to applied research, innovation, entrepreneurship. And it is, what is the best way for students to find out more? And can they connect with you via social media?
Yes, so we have almost all the social media handles. We have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we're on YouTube, all of those things you can find us, and there will be some links posted there, so you can click on those and quickly follow. And then the other easy way to do it is go to our website, and all the information is there. If you don't find that information, I'm also happy to answer any questions, so you can find me in the contacts page and give me an email as well.
Great. Thank you, Matthew. It was a pleasure to have you join us today. If students have any additional questions related to applied research, innovation, and entrepreneurship, the website link will be posted in the chat now.
Thank you.
Take care. Next, I'd like to welcome Patrick from the Algonquin Students Association. Welcome, Patrick. Please tell us about your services.
Hey, Leanne, thanks for having us. Yeah, so the Students Association is a non-for-profit organization that's within Algonquin College. We offer a number of different services and facilities across all 3 of our campuses, and we're governed by a board of directors that are all full-time students.
Great. So we're going to jump right into questions. And the
Yeah.
first one I have is, can you tell us about the Algonquin Student Association Board of Directors and what their role is?
For sure. So there's 9 students that are on our board of directors. We have a president, a vice president, and then 7 general directors. We have a director both on our Perth and Pembroke campus, and the rest work out of our Ottawa campus. Those students, so they're full-time students. They also hold positions on the board of directors, and they work to represent all students across all campuses to really bring student needs forward to the upper levels in the college executive team. So if students are saying, a few years ago, students had a really big issue with the online learning management system. So they went to the college executive and worked with them on that. A few years ago, they got the UPass for students, different things like that.
Great. What type of programming and services are you offering to students during the COVID-19 closures?
Yeah, obviously, COVID has changed the way we live and the way the campus is operating. So we really took a look at all the services we offer and moved a majority of them online. So a good example of that is our food cupboard. So we help students with food security issues on all 3 of our campuses. That's moved to an online system. So you still fill in an online form, and then you're sent a gift card instead of actually coming to pick up food donations on campus. Our Wellness and Equity Center, clubs, and events programming have really moved all their types of virtual events online. So Zoom has been a huge resource for that, offering, Dirty Bingo is a huge staple at Algonquin. So offering Dirty Bingo via Zoom or trivia nights via Zoom, different things like that. Our fitness zone, so we own and operate all athletics on campus. Our fitness zone and our fitness instructors have done a great job of offering downloadable workouts on social media. So that's huge. That's been a huge help right now, just to try to keep students healthy, motivated, active, and give them some sort of social aspect during COVID right now.
Great. The Algonquin Students Association manages varsity athletics and fitness programming. What's happening in that department right now?
We do, yeah. So the OCAA, which we compete under, we have 4 different teams. So volleyball, basketball, soccer, and rugby. The OCAA made an announcement a few days ago saying that fall sports wouldn't be happening. So soccer and rugby won't be happening, which is very disappointing, obviously, but makes sense due to the COVID issues. Basketball and volleyball can still happen starting in January. Like I said, our fitness instructors, so we have a 15,000 square foot fitness facility on campus that actually we can't get into right now, obviously. But our fitness instructors are doing a great job of posting things online on our social media, doing yoga classes and tons of different things like that. We're also in the middle of building a new athletics and recreation center on campus, which students will be able to enjoy. That building is scheduled to be open next year at this time, which is very exciting as well.
Thank you. The Algonquin Students Association covers domestic student health and dental plan. Can you tell us more about the plan details and what it covers?
Yeah, for sure. So I know Michelle touched on this about international students and their health and dental plans. So the Student Association manages the health and dental plan for all full-time domestic students. That means you're a Canadian citizen. The health plan, there's 4 different options. So there's a basic plan that gives you coverage for dental, vision care, and pharmaceutical care. There is a dental focus plan, a pharmaceutical focus plan, and a vision care focus plan. You don't lose coverage in any of those. They're just more coverage in each focus plan. So in the basic plan, I believe your dental coverage is $500. In the dental-based focus plan, the coverage may go up to $750 or $1,000, but it is lower. Your coverage is lowered in the other categories.
Great. Thank you so much, Patrick. And the last question I have today for the Algonquin Students Association is, are there any other Algonquin Students Association services, resources, or events that you want to highlight today?
Yeah, for sure. The SA does a lot of great things for students. We're huge advocates for students when it comes to their academics on campus, as well as student issues. We also manage and oversee a number of different services and facilities on campus. We have an 800-person Algonquin Commons Theater. Like I said, our new Athletics and Recreation Center. We also have the Observatory, a campus Starbucks. The Observatory is our campus lounge. the Landing, which is the campus lounge on the Pembroke campus, and a rock wall there. We have some very exciting things that happen on campus and a number of different services and facilities that are very exciting. And we're just really excited for students to get back on campus. I really miss that face-to-face interaction with students, and I know we're all excited to get back.
Great. Thank you so much, Patrick. It was a pleasure to have you join us and a pleasure to partner with the Algonquin Student Association on today's Campus Village event. If students have any additional questions related to the Algonquin Students Association, their website link will be posted in the chat now.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And the last representative I'd like to welcome up today is Laura from the AC Hub and the Volunteer Center. Welcome, Laura. Please tell us about the two services you'll be representing today.
Hi, Leanne. Thank you. And hi, everyone who's tuning in. So my name is Laura McClellan, and I work in student engagement in the AC Hub. So the AC Hub is a one-stop access point for all things student engagement. So we run virtual events. We have online workshops taking place. We also have a volunteer center where students can get involved in our virtual community projects that we've been running. So lots of ways that students can really get involved in their Algonquin College community and in campus life outside of their academics.
Great, thank you so much. So jumping right into the questions, can you give us a little bit more of an overview on what the AC Hub is offering currently virtually?
Yeah, for sure. So the AC Hub is an actual physical space on campus. We are a study space, but we are a department as well. In our study space, we offer events and workshops, but I'm really excited to say that all of the programming pretty much that we offer, we have managed to transition to virtually. So we have workshops and events, and we have volunteering opportunities. So our event series is called AC Always Connected, and we have lots of great ways. We try and have something for everyone, so lots of great ways for students to get involved. We have a couple upcoming events that I can actually share about. So this Friday, we have our AC Always Connected Community Cafe with Bree Lawrenson. So she is a local singer in the Ottawa area, and she's going to be doing a live music performance that students can log on, tune into. So just a great way to sort of chill out on a Friday afternoon, listen to some awesome music, and just sort of start your weekend off right. And at all of our events, students are encouraged to turn on their webcams if they want to see some other students, have a little face-to-face time, but that's totally optional. If that's not something you're comfortable with, you certainly don't have to do that.
Great, Laura, thank you. Where can students find more information about virtual community projects, and how do they sign up?
Okay, so there's a couple places you can go. So on our website, on our AC Hub website, you can either check out our events calendar. So that will have all of the events, including the ones I was just speaking about, as well as the community projects listed. Or they can just check out the Volunteer Center tab on our website. And there's a little link there that'll say community projects. So either way, we'll get them there. And then, so what the virtual community projects are they are a collaboration between Algonquin and not-for-profits in the Ottawa area, where students can donate their time to volunteer and give back. So we have transitioned to online, as mentioned. So the community project that we currently have running is focused on donations. So what students can do is they can get a non-perishable food item, and they can donate it to, it can be the Ottawa Food Bank or any not-for-profit of their choice. We want to see pictures of them taking part in the community project, and then they just tag us and share the photo of them volunteering. And that's how you take part in that one. You can read more about it, and you do need to register to be recognized. So I encourage you to register. And again, you just do that on our website. And then we have other virtual community projects coming up. There's one getting closer to Canada Day that's focused on what Canada means to you. So yeah, check out online.
Great, thank you. And you mentioned recognition for participating in community projects. Can you enlighten us a little bit more on that?
Sure. So for every community project or volunteering that you do through Algonquin College, you'll get recognition on what's called your Co-Curricular Record. And so your Co-Curricular Record is an official Algonquin College document, and it tracks all your volunteering and leadership that you participate in during your time as an Algonquin College student. So why you might want to have your co-curricular record? Well, when you graduate and you're out in the workforce looking for a job, of course you'll have your resume, but you could also print your co-curricular record. So you can go to employers and say, yeah, here's my resume, but here's my co-curricular record. And I did A, B, C, D, and show them in one snapshot all the leadership and volunteering that you did during your time as an Algonquin student. So it can really be a great document that can help set your application apart and really make you stand out. And just a little tip about the co-curricular record, if you're wondering, well, how do I get that going? How do I access that? The first time you participate in a co-curricular recognized activity, so let's say you go do the donations community project, as long as you register, I will send you instructions of how to get your co-curricular up and running. It's very easy. And then once you've done it the first time, we make it super easy for you. We update it for you every time you participate in something. So it's really, really easy from the student side to get that recognition.
Thank you, Laura. And I have one last question today related to the AC Hub and Volunteer Center. And it's, how do students take part in our virtual AC Connected events?
Yeah, of course. So I already mentioned the one on Friday with Bree Lawrenson. So if that sounds like something you want to participate in, or any of our AC Always Connected events, again, you would just go to our Student Support Services events calendar. You can see all the upcoming events there. When you click on them, you'll be taken to a page that has a more in-depth description of what that event is all about. And then if you just scroll down a little bit, you'll see a bright green tab and it says register now. So you just hit that, you pop in your information, and then you will receive a confirmation email that has more instructions of how to access the event. So many of our events are taking place on the Zoom platform or Facebook Live, or well, that's the majority right now, but you'll have either just like a direct link that you click on. So it's very, very easy, but it is important that you register so that you have that access. So yeah, if you want to do our community cafe, I encourage you to sign up today. And I'll just mention one other event that we have coming up that we're really excited about in the AC Hub. So on Monday, June 15th, we have our AC Always Connected Gut Health 101 event. So I know gut health is a bit of a buzzword lately that we're all wondering, well, what exactly does that mean? So we have health coach Tara Ryan coming to speak a little bit more about what gut health is, how you can support your gut health, and it should be a really interesting, informative event. And again, just go to our website, hit register now, and you can take part in that.
Great. Thank you, Laura, for joining us today. If students have any additional questions related to the AC Hub and the Volunteer Center, the website link will be posted in the chat now. And I just want to take this time to give one last thank you to all the representatives who joined us today for your campus network, It Takes a Village. I also want to thank all of the students who attended today, either through the live Zoom event, through the Facebook Live, or who will watch this recording when it's posted on the Algonquin College Orientation website. The AC Hub is proud to host a variety of weekly virtual events under the AC Always Connected brand. Again, continuing on what Laura said, for more information on AC Always Connected upcoming events, or to watch recordings of past events that have already taken place, please kindly visit the Student Support Services events calendar, and the link is going to be posted in the chat for you. Thank you again, everyone. We look forward to seeing you virtually for future events.